When I was 6 or almost 7, she took me to many concerts, but the one that really influenced me the most was in New York City, which is where I grew up. I went to hear János Starker play. I was just a little thing, and he was in his late 20s at the time, and I was so taken by that, I said, that's the instrument I want to play. And shortly later, I was given a cello and a teacher and all the privileges that go with that, and started in. And as history has it, he ended up being really a critical person in my life when I was in my 20s and ready for college.
You studied with him at Indiana,
I studied with him at Indiana, that's right. And for 4 years I studied with him. In the last 2 of those 4 years I was his teaching assistant. So it just created a wonderful circle. And we're still good, dear friends. He's a great mentor to me. Probably I was about 7 or something like that. I've been performing all my life. Performing really is my passion, indeed. I've been at BW, what is this, my 32nd year, I think. It's a long time and a wonderful history. I'm so grateful and privileged to be teaching here. And I hope to teach here another 32 years, so it's not over by a long shot. I like to think of the teaching process as being the whole package, not just how a student plays the instrument. Though we do spend the majority of our time excelling on technique and interpretation and those things as well. But by the whole package, I mean how they appear on stage, how they prepare for the performance, how they look at themselves as cellists at large, not just the individual note, where they fit into society as a cellist, their job, their future, their next degree, where that will be when they graduate from here. And it's an encompassing package, not just the specifics of cello playing by all means. Whoever walks in the studio gets his or her own method completely. By the nature of lessons, they're on an individual basis anyway, so that lends itself to it very well. But even more an exaggeration of that, I feel very strongly about it, that each student needs a different level, a different pace. My goal with each student as they walk in is to meet them where they are and then to tug just a little harder than they can take, if that makes sense. So I'm really tugging hard on each student, really trying to pull them up to a higher level. Lessons are fast-paced. I've got 4 years to get in 8 years worth of material, and I'm just pumping it in. And as the students walking down the hall when they finish their lesson, I'm barking out things there, and I'm always on the phone with the student to remind them of this, and extra lessons are all the time, and I'm emailing. I've got all their phone numbers memorized by the end of the year because I'm just constantly in touch with them. I'm like an overbearing mama, you might say. The ones that want to perform have unlimited. Even by your sophomore year, a student here who really wants to be on the stage is on the stage almost every weekend for something, and I encourage it. I feel very strongly about performance, as you may have gathered by now. So I'm just always nudging them onto the stage, and those that want to be there, all the more. I'm very interested in hearing sophomores and juniors, even at this early stage of their preparation. If a high school sophomore comes to me and asks me, where do I need to go? First thing I say is, come play for me. Let me hear what you're doing right now. Halfway through the piece, mind you, halfway through, it was an 8-minute piece. Oh, I'll never forget this moment. My earring got stuck inside the C string, between the C string and the fingerboard, and there was no extracting it. So that made my head absolutely glued to the neck of the cello, and I still had 4 more minutes to play this piece.